Hello and welcome once again to my channel. In my last video, I promised I was going to take us through some of the processes that are involved in edible oil production. In this video, I want to talk about the bleaching process. Bleaching, like I said in the last video, consists of removing most of the coloring matter as well as gums and any traces of soap and other impurities that are remaining in the oil after degumming. Please, I want us to note this. Degumming is not the removal of gums from the oil. Rather, it is the modification of the structure of the gums in the oil to enable it to be removed during bleaching. So once the oil is extracted, the oil is degummed, then the next thing is bleaching. What are the things we need for this bleaching? As you can see here, we have our crude oil pump, we have our heat exchangers, the dynamic acid mixer, the bleaching earth hopper, bleaching mixer, and so on. Everything you see here is represented on this flow chart. This is a flow chart on the control panel. As you can see, this is the bleaching section of the control panel. So from this place down to this place is how the oil flows during bleaching. Now, when your oil comes from the crude oil tank, it moves through the heat exchangers with the aid of the crude oil pump. It moves through the heat exchangers. We'll have the oil to oil heat exchanger, and we'll have the oil to steam heat exchanger. This is to enable the oil gain some amount of heat before finally getting into the bleacher. Now, once the oil moves through the heat exchangers, it moves into the dynamic acid mixer. Now, from the dynamic acid mixer, it moves to the bleaching mixer. What happens at the dynamic acid mixer? This is where the phosphoric acid that is used for degumming is added. Phosphoric acid is added here, or is dosed. We call it dosing in edible oil production. Is dosed. Then from here the oil moves into the bleaching mixer. What you have here is the bleaching earth hopper. I know you'll be wondering what the bleaching earth is. It is a powder that is used in bleaching the oil. The powder is poured here. This has a dosing counter beneath. So the dosing counter will now dose the bleaching earth into the bleaching mixer. So this is where the bleaching mixer, the bleaching earth will be mixed thoroughly with the oil. Now from the bleaching mixer, the oil will move to the bleacher. This is where the bleaching takes place. And remember, oil that is bleached is not edible yet. It must be deodorized before we say it is edible. Now, from the bleacher here, where the bleaching takes place, it will move through the bleacher pump to the pressure leaf filters. As you can see, this is a pressure leaf filter. This is a pressure leaf filter, and I want you to note that these two do not work at the same time. While one is working, the other one will be on standby. You cannot use the two pressure leaf filters at the same time. So what happens here is that the bleaching earth that is being added to the oil is removed here. Now we call this filtration. The bleaching earth will retain all the gums, all the impurities, all the traces of all the coloring matter. The bleaching earth will retain them here through adsorption and absorption. Now once that is done, you now have your clear oil. It will move to the bleached oil tank. Now from the bleached oil tank, the oil will move to the polish filters. Just like the pressure lift filter, the polish filters do not work at the same time. While one is working, the other one will be on standby. So the essence of the polish filter is to remove any bleaching earth or any other impurity that will escape from the pressure lift filter. So if it escapes from here, it will be trapped at the polish filters. Now the oil will move into the deodorizer. This is the final step or the final destination of oil in bleaching the polish filters. From here it moves into the deodorizer where other processes take place. Please, we will still talk about the mechanism of all these equipments, how they work. We will still talk about them, the polish, the pressure lift filter, and so on. Thank you.